Can I crack a very poor joke before everything begins?
Okay, Mr. Deep Dasgupta, let me go to you first. Right. Yes, Sanjay.
I want to introduce a new term for people who work from a bubble, and I want to suggest we are now bubblies. Very bad, no?
It's time for another IPL. It's time for another biosecure bubble, and it's time for another run order on ESPNcricinfo. And therefore, it is time to have the same conversation we have in the IPL year after year. How does any team stop the Mumbai Indians? That's not to say it's a given that they're going to win it, but come on. There's a good chance that they're going to win it, and they'll make it 3 in a row. So let's ask Dan Vettori, Deep Dasgupta, Sanjay Manjrekar, Nikhil Naz and Dustin Silgado what they have in mind for teams to try and stop the Mumbai Indians juggernaut.
The only team, and we all know perhaps, that has got the better of the Mumbai Indians of late is the Rajasthan Royals team. In the last 6 encounters, they've beaten Mumbai Indians 5 times. And what has happened on those 5 occasions is Mumbai Indians have batted first.
Wow. Well done. You really went from the either extreme.
One extreme to the other.
You just wanted to showcase your range. I just think that's what you're
from very bad to brilliant.
Daniel Vettori, how does the team stop the Mumbai Indians?
I only want to bring up this because this is my way to bring in who I think is going to win the tournament and Sunrisers, and I think it's because Rashid Khan. I think Rashid Khan's the only one who can stop Mumbai Indians. He can stop Rohit Sharma at the top, he can stop Kieran Pollard throughout the middle, and he can stop all the rest of their batsmen. So I don't see any other team having that bowler, that person who can layer his bowling innings to counter them. So that builds all to me predicting Sunrisers now to win, and that's where I'm heading for the rest of the tournament.
This is interesting. So in our first 2 comments, we've seen 2 specific oppositions that seem to get the better of the Mumbai Indians or that have the potential to. Deep Dasgupta, your thoughts?
The only way you can stop them is to get them out. So the best bowling side, team with the more wicket-taking options would be your best chance to beat MI. MI is playing 5 games in Chennai, 4 games in Delhi. So 9 out of those 14 games are actually on low-scoring venues, pitches where it might turn. So now if you look at the other strength, and Dan is very, very true there. If you look at SRH, I mean, they've got a good kind of venue selection that they have. So they're going to play a lot of those games on those turning surfaces or slow surfaces, low scoring surfaces. I think that's where I think you can get hold of MI.
Okay, Nikhil, give me a Nikhil Naz's answer to that. How do teams stop Mumbai?
Well, one thing that we've learned from IPL 2020 is that to beat Mumbai Indians, you need to take them to the super over. RCB did that. And Kings 11 Punjab did it twice in the same match. So one was a tie and then you went one ahead to have another over. So that's one trend that has emerged from if you see the last IPL. The other 2 trend, apart from having Mumbai batting first, one, use your X-factor bowler. In their case, they had a Jofra Archer, more in the middle in the death overs. He tends to pick up a lot of wicket there because Mumbai don't lose a lot of wickets up top. The other is that when you are batting against them, you should attack their spinners and not lose wickets very early. And this is a trend if you see all the 5 victories that Rajasthan has had over Mumbai in the 3 seasons. So those are the 2 things you do. One is the Achilles heels, this is their spinners, attack them. And be careful against someone like Jasprit Bumrah. Stating the obvious, but this is what they trend.
I would say the exact opposite. I think the only way to beat Mumbai Indians is not to play out Jasprit Bumrah. I think the team to do it is Delhi Capitals, because what Rishabh Pant is going to do is he's going to reverse scoop Jasprit Bumrah first ball for 6, put the Mumbai Indians off completely. And if that fails, Ronak, you didn't want cricketing answer, so I'll give you a footballing answer, and you would know this very well. A good way to make Mumbai Indians lose is to convince them to have Arsene Wenger as their manager.
That's cheap. That's low even for you, Dustin.
Sometimes in cricket, things happen. And it's not like Rajasthan Royals have the ammunition to beat Mumbai Indians. So, it's one of those things that happened. But the only takeaway from that is Mumbai Indians batted first every time in those defeats. So maybe that is one way, win the toss.
What if I say that Mumbai Indians are not as strong as they're made out to be? They're very strong. But may I compare them, since Dustin's thrown the footballing world open, to Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool side? They just don't lose their star players. They never get injured. They never need to test their bench strength as much. They've got some of it, but imagine losing a Bumrah or a Rohit Sharma or a Hardik Pandya. Let me rephrase. The only way that they could lose is if the players get injured.
Otherwise, the topic is
a ridiculous
Mumbai Indians. So what you're suggesting is that you should injure Mumbai Indians players.
Yeah, beat them up.
And you had Rohit injured for the second half of that tournament, and yet they won the title. So
Mumbai's one of the teams that the length of their batting order intimidates teams, and I think that's where you get a good start against Mumbai and it's never over. I think of 1 year Samuel Bantry got a hat-trick and we're almost up there celebrating, and then Pollard brought it home. So I think that's the intimidating factor, the names, the length of the batting order, and Bumrah. And you put all that combined together with all the pageantry of the Mumbai Indians team, and it's a difficult proposition.
Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to go around the room. I want all of you to give me one suggestion that you think teams should keep in mind if they want to try and beat Mumbai. Just one line, right? Sanjay, you go first.
Toss. Just find yourself to be lucky with the toss and get Mumbai Indians to bat first.
Okay, Deep.
Be attacking. Try and pick wickets. Don't be defensive at all.
Nikhil.
I think the Achilles heels are the spinners. So, Rahul Chahar, Piyush Chawla, Jayant Yadav, Kunal Pandya really don't inspire too much confidence.
All right. Dustin.
Just attack Jasprit Bumrah. Try to do something different and put them off their game.
Dan.
Have Rashid Khan in your team.
All right. This was our first ESPN Cricinfo Runorder for IPL 2021.